and your profession. Example. Who are you, Fernando? I am Fernando Pérez, and I am an English teacher. What about you, Viviana? Who are you?
I am Jessica Olivares. I am a personal trainer.
You are a personal trainer. Good job. What about Vianney? Who are you?
I am Vianney Silva. I'm cosmetologist.
Good. Incomplete. For professions, what is necessary?
I am a cosmetologist.
That's correct. Yes, of course. You are a cosmetologist. So it's very different to say, I am Vianney. Vianney is your name. Then I am a cosmetologist. For professions, necessary or an.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, I got it.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. That was the previous lesson. Now, in this moment, we will contrast this. We are going to contrast I am versus I was versus I have been. Okay? The three different structures for location, description, and of course, profession. So let's move. This goes here. And this goes over here. Okay. So let's talk about this chart. When you are talking about I am versus I was versus I have been, it's very important to establish the context, the different context that exists. Let's talk about your profession. Your profession or your life? No, your profession. Just like that. Perfect. When you speak about your profession, you are going to say, I am today a cosmetologist, a personal trainer, and an English teacher. Of course, we don't forget the a and an, no? That's necessary. And then after that, to speak about the past, you use was. Present am, past was. Before I became an English teacher, I was an language languages student before. So what happens to have been? We need to contrast the difference between past versus in my life. Take a note, eh? This is super important information. It's different to say I was than to say I have been, because have been is talking about a record in your life. So you say I have been an English teacher for connector for 10 years. 10 straight years. So what happened to the connector in this case? For is a connector for periods of time. Okay. So let's talk about it. Viridiana, for how long have you been a personal trainer?
I have been
Right.
a personal trainer for 2 years.
For 2 years. That sounds good. Excellent. What about Vianney? How long have you been a cosmetologist?
I have been a cosmetologist for 8 years.
For 8 years. Perfect.
Teacher,
Viviana.
I have a question in the what? You tell me or no? Tell.
Correct.
You say. You say. I was a language student before. No, not is important. You put was and before. Not is contraction. I don't know.
the position of before. I was before. For example, like this. I was before.
No. Como que se están contradiciendo, o sea, pone was y before, no es como lo mismo.
Okay, redundant. Not really. No. The usual characteristic of an idea is like the standard formula. Let's call it like that. Standard formula is person, verb, complement. Okay. And in English, usually the complement includes the time expression. Okay. In this case, the time expression is before. So it's a complement of was. Okay. No redundant.
Okay.
This is your principal information.
Maybe this sentence is correct. I was a language student.
Correct.
Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
Of course, when you speak in past, you need a specification. When was Fernando a language student? Before he was an English teacher.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You see, so that, take that as a note. The time expression helps with context. This is the note. That is going to help you identify the correct expression. The time expression in the case before is the time expression. So let's talk about your experience before. Vianney, what were you before you became a cosmetologist?
I was a manager, financial manager. No,
I was a financial manager. Very nice. And what about Viviana? What were you before you became a personal trainer?
I was sales teacher. Sales is correct. Sales car.
Sales what?
Cars.
Car.
Sales.
Okay. Watch out. Sell cars is not a profession. This is an action.
Okay.
You were a sales representative.
Okay. Okay. I was a sales representative.
Perfect.
Before. Yes.
Before, exactly. Okay. The next question has a combination of was plus for. There is another question that I want you to practice in this moment. Let's pronounce this. Question. Pronunciation, everybody. Tell me, Viridiana, what is the pronunciation in this case?
How long?
Excellent. Everybody, how long?
how long?
That's correct. How long?
How long?
This question is a question for duration. Question for duration. And the answer is the time of duration. For example, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Every time you listen the question, how long, you need to respond the time. And it's possible to use how long in past or how long in your life. For example, how long were you an English? No, how long were you a language student? Response, I was a language student for 4 years. What is the difference between I was a language student for 4 years versus I have been an English teacher?
When I use, yes, when I use was is past, no?
Right.
And I have been is past and present.
Past and present, very good. It's a period of time that includes the present. That's totally correct. So let's take a note. Okay. Have been, difference between the two pasts. In the past, we use was. In my life, we use have been. The meaning of in the past is this activity is no more. We finished. There's no more activity in this case. And in my life, have been is I started in the past and I continue this in the present. Take a note on these two examples. This is very important because this is technically the verb be. When we continue, I am is present, I was is past, and I have been is my life. It's a time expression. Present and future. Today I am. In the past I was. But in my life, I've been. And this is the future. Questions?
No, teacher.
No? Difficult?
No.
Super difficult or easy peasy Japanese?
Depending.
Depending. Why depending?
What? Come on. What?
Easy peasy
What is?
Japanese?
What is, teacher?
What?
Depending? No.
Yes, depending.
Yes? Okay.
You are correct. Depending on what?
The expression and context and
Yes.
no remember and
Exactly. Yes, 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 yes. That's why it's super important to alternate the structure one according to context. Okay, because it's very possible that you have I am, I was, I have been, but it depends on the context. The context is the most important part. So you need to take a lot of attention in the context. And this will be natural for all the classes. After this moment, the most important part for the verb is the context. Okay? That is the most important part for the context, for the verb. Now, let me speak Spanish for a moment. ¿Ok? Voy a usar español para hablar de estas estructuras. ¿Recuerdan que habíamos dicho de este logo de acá arriba? ¿Qué habíamos dicho sobre ya,
No me acuerdo.
¿no te acuerdas? Ok. Vamos a hablar de
No.
eso. Ya nos dijiste que sí, ¿tú te acuerdas?
Me acuerdo que habíamos comentado que cuando apareciera el logo, no sé, no recuerdo muy bien, pero que íbamos a estar generando las estructuras, ¿no?
Casi, por ahí vas. Algo iba a pasar cuando apareciera el logo.
Ajá.
¿Ok? Cuando aparezca el logo, ese es el resumen de sus clases. ¿Ok? Entonces, técnicamente, durante las primeras 2 lecciones, vimos cómo usar a y an para hablar de profesiones, trabajos y ocupaciones, pero también se usa el mismo verbo, el verbo be, no se usa solamente para trabajos, también se usa para dar nombres o para dar ubicaciones, para dar descripciones. Entonces, estas 3 lecciones están todas juntas en esta pantalla. Tienes aquí la fórmula de usar el verbo be y las 3 formas que tienes que tener en cuenta cuando uses el verbo be. Si estás hablando en presente, si estás hablando en pasado o si estás hablando de la experiencia en tu vida. Entonces, este es su primer resumen de todos los que vamos a ir coleccionando. Esa colección se las voy a pasar de una vez, ya toda completa, en PDF, con las primeras 7 estructuras que debemos de superdominar para el examen final dentro de 6 meses. Este está aquí y va por WhatsApp. Si quieren, ábralo y vean lo que contiene.
Súper, está muy completo.
Oh, yes. Vaya que lo está.
Sí.
Es uno de mis bebés. Ujú. Tiene toda la corrección estructural que vamos a ir usando a partir de hoy. Cada vez que hablemos, tenemos que considerar esas estructuras. Y conforme vayamos avanzando, vamos a ir entendiendo cada una de las estructuras. Ahora, como todavía está este particular manual, de repente me sale una idea y lo actualizo. Por ejemplo, la estructura 1, si lo ven, todavía no trae lo de jobs, lo de los trabajos. Entonces, hay que ponérselo. Ahí está toda la información que necesiten, puede darle una leída, pueden checar para qué se van a ocupar cada una de las cosas y siempre con el objetivo de que les ayude a memorizar todo esto.
Sí, teacher.
Very good,
Okay.
very good. Se les mando actualizado de una vez.
Gracias.
Voy a poner la jobs.
Thank
So,
you, teacher.
elimine el anterior. That's it. So remember, jobs. Okay? Now, talking about my job is super easy. I am an English teacher. I have been an English teacher for 10 years. And I was a student before. Ah, perfect. And what about your mom? What about your dad? What about your parents? What about your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, or your girlfriend? There is another application, but with a different person. Let's eliminate the I, and let's collocate he, she, and it. Everything is going to change now. What is the verb be for he, she, it?
Be?
Was
Be
in
and was. Very
be
good. Well, be is simple
Be.
form. Was is past.
Is.
Excellent. Is. And in my life, or in his or her life, is a
Have been.
different. Close. Yes, it's been, but it's incomplete. Is has
Ah.
been. With an extra or a different pronunciation. It's not have, it's has. Oh my God. So this is one of the most difficult parts of the verb be. Many people forget the has been. Let's talk about, let's eliminate location. No, let's eliminate jobs. Now let's try with location. Where? Question for place?
Where?
Exactly. Let's try with location. Where? Where is your best friend? My best friend is in this moment in Querétaro. The verb is gives you location. The connector in gives you location. Okay. Where was your friend in the past. Ah, my friend was in Texas before. Okay. In his life, he, including present and past, he has been in Querétaro for connector for 10 years. This is going to be the two mechanics that we are going to follow. Let's try. Let's begin with Viridiana. Where is your dog? Do you have a dog?
Yes, teacher.
Cool. Where is your dog?
My dog
Yeah.
is in a street.
In the street. Okay, very good. How do you say afuera in English? We saw that in previous classes.
Out.
Out. Very good. Complete.
My dog is in out.
Eliminate in. In is in, interior.
Yes.
Out is exterior. Contradiction.
Okay. My dog is out.
Perfect. That is correct. What about where was your dog in the morning?
My dog was in the house.
In the house.
Before.
Before? Okay. And where has your dog been?
It as teacher?
It what?
But is dog or is he? In this case, dog?
This is a very interesting. Usually we love our dogs. So when there is a sentiment, a feeling, we use he or she.
Okay.
It depends on you.
Okay.
People prefer to use he or she.
Okay. He has been in the house for a long time.
Perfect. Has been in the house for a long time. Very good job. And that's precisely the part, the difficult part. Has been, no have been.
Has
Okay.
been.
You did a very good job. Perfect. Let's try now with Vianney. Where is your husband?
My husband is in apartment.
In apartment. We can say in the apartment.
In the apartment.
Okay. Where was he this morning?
He was in the office before.
Before. Perfect. Where has he been all these years recently?
Okay. He has been in Mexico City for all the life, I don't know.
For all his life.
All his life.
Exactly. In the expression, in this expression, no, yes, it's correct to say for. Repetition.
Okay. He has been in Mexico City for for all all his life. No,
Fantastic. Yes. Yes, confidence with conviction. Yes, of course. He has been in Mexico City for all his life. There we go. That's the only difficult issue. Okay? So when you are talking about he, she, it, just remember to use has. I'm gonna make a little note over here. Okay, don't forget this. Has been. Because for the plural person, they, we, and you, the person is normal. Okay? Now, we are going to focus on another difficult part. Making questions is difficult too. The question is usually difficult to build. Do you know what is build?
No remember, teacher.
No? What is build?
Construir.
Construir. Very good. The question is usually difficult to build because it's very normal to confuse he, she, it, he, she versus you. For example, let's talk about the question. How do you say in English, how do you say in English, ¿dónde has estado todo este tiempo? Haces con Z, ¿verdad? Todo este tiempo.
Sí.
I'm thinking in English, come on. I have the English chip. ¿Dónde has estado todo este tiempo? How do you say that in English? Number one, are we talking about present, past, or in my life?
In
your
my life.
Perfect. So you know that you need to use have. No? Have or has. Been. No? So to build the question, to build the formula, the correct expression, you need to follow and observe this particular section. The be and the person. Okay? This is the crucial part of the question, the most important part. First, you need be. After, you need the person. Contrast this with the affirmation, and the affirmation is switch. It's the contrary. Okay? So how do you build this sentence? How do you say donde in English? Question for place?
Where?
Where? This is the WH part. Part two, the B.
Is? Where is?
But we are talking about your life.
Has been.
Exactly.
Or have been.
Have been. And then you need a person. No? What person? The you, no? Okay. In this particular case, when you use have been, the person goes between the have and the verb been. Where have you been all this time? This is the difficult part. Hashtag English. I'm sorry. But this is the correct form. Where have you been? You need to separate the have been and collocate the person you in between.
Okay.
Okay. So let's make a question. Viridiana, question Piani saying que ¿cuánto tiempo has sido cosmetóloga?
Okay. How do you say cuánto, teacher? I don't remember.
¿Cuánto tiempo? Es question for duration. Previous classes, previous.
Okay.
Like, question for duration. Memory.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. How long have you been cosmetology?
Cosmetologist.
Cosmetologist. Okay.
Correct. How long have you been cosmetologist? Oh, wait. What is necessary for jobs and professions, Viviana? Exactly.
Cosmetologist.
Repeat.
Yes. How long have you been a cosmetologist? Cosmetologist.
Excellent. How long?
I have been 8 years.
I have been what?
A cosmetologist 8 years.
And the connector for duration?
For
That's the one.
oh, but
Yes. No, like 20% bad.
Okay, thanks. I have been a cosmetologist for 8 years.
Fantastic. For 8 years. You see, the have you been is a question. I have been is an affirmation. Okay. Now, second confusion. The second confusion is also very common. ¿Dónde estabas la mañana? Yes, it's important to consider feminine or masculine in English, but when you question you, there is no feminine and no masculine. It's only you. What is the verb be for you?
Are in present.
Are in present. And in past? In the morning? Where? So according to the formula, first is the question where. Then we have the verb be. What is the verb be?
Are?
But in the morning is past.
Where have?
In the
Aye.
morning is past.
Happy?
In the morning is past.
No.
In this morning, in this moment?
Where? Where did you?
Exactly. Where? And then the person.
You?
You. Complement?
In the morning.
What is this is the question. What is the answer? I
I had been.
Have been is present. We're talking about the morning.
I was.
I was.
Exactly. I was in the office, for example. In the morning. Look at this, eh? The where transformed to was. Yes or no?
Yes.
This transformation happens because you need to correspond the verb be to the person. Okay. You need to correspond the verb be to the person, not to the feminine or masculine.
Okay.
No, not to the feminine and masculine. Because when you say, I am, you are, and he is. Okay, but if the question is for a feminine, it's not is. She is. That's a different person, external. You are, plural. So my point is, don't consider plural and singular when you say you. Plural is where. Let's copy this. These two. We have verb to be singular and verb to be plural. When we consider singular versus plural, we need to consider is versus are. But the person you is always plural.
Okay.
Okay? That's the note. That is the note. The only exception is I. Okay? I is the exception in this catalog. And ready, girls. Here you have your class. All this information is here. And all this information is in the handbook, in the structure handbook. You can study it, you can check it, and you can memorize it. Any question?
No, teacher,
No,
this class not is easy.
Exactly. No more easy classes. No, too much information, right?
Yes.
No problem. That's important for the next classes. We will continue review, repeat to memorize. Okay?
Yes, teacher.
All right. My people, have a happy weekend. Saturday and Sunday. I see you on Monday.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
You too. Thank you very much.
See you on Monday. Bye.
Bye.